Welcome to A&BPrivateTutors. My name's Brenton. I specialize in helping pre-med students score their best on the MCAT. With my expert guidance and tailored study plan, you too can increase your chances at getting into medical school. Join me on this journey to reach your goals, and let's make your dream of becoming a doctor a reality. All right, let's start with one of the highest yield strategies you can learn for the MCAT: how to improve your understanding of science passages from Chem Phys, Bio-Biochem, and Psych Soc. This is a very high yield lesson, so you'll want to pay attention. This is going to specifically deal with how to understand the paragraphs themselves. Let's dive right on into it. So the first thing you want to be doing is figuring out what is high yield content while you're reading. Well, this can mean a lot of different things. So what are you actually looking for? I've broken this down into two columns. The first is text. So when you're reading a block of text in a paragraph, the three things you want to look for are main ideas, the relationships between anything that has cause and effect. So this could be variables, this could be chemical reactions, this could be anything where A is causing B. The third thing you want to look for are conclusions. Now, when you're analyzing a figure, such as a graph or a table, there are three steps I want you to do every single time you see it. I want you to figure out what are all of the independent variables, what are all of the dependent variables, and what are any obvious trends you see. And if you're wondering if this will take too long, it shouldn't. I don't want you to spend more than 10 seconds on analyzing any trends in a figure. If nothing pops out at you right away, that's okay. You'll just use the questions themselves to help guide you through that figure later on. Let's put this into practice. Take a moment and pause the video. See what you can come up with for the first paragraph. When we are making this flow diagram, I want you to literally write this down for every single paragraph or figure. You should use abbreviations to keep this short and sweet, but I do want you to physically write this down, not just do highlighting. Let's practice that now. Start with this first paragraph. See if you can figure out what the main idea is and if you see any relationships here. Here's how I would summarize this one. Clearly, the HIV protease is what this is about, and it's also mentioned that this is the drug target. This is the testable information from the first paragraph, so this is exactly what I want to write down. Now, let's analyze figure 1. What's important here? Note there are no independent or dependent variables to worry about, so just describe the picture. This figure tells us that HIV protease is cleaving a peptide bond. That's what's important. That's what I'm going to write down. Now, let's look at that second paragraph together. Here we have our first important relationship. We see that compound 1 is inhibiting the HIV protease. So I want to show this. The way I like to show inhibition is by drawing a little T. What this means is C1 inhibits the HIV protease. There's nothing I'd really write down for figure 2, so we'll just skip over that. It's just a picture of compound 1. Let's look at that next paragraph. The important information from this paragraph is that the CYP3A is inhibiting compound 1, and it has a half-life of 1.8 hours. So how can we show that succinctly? Again, by using these inhibition arrows and writing the half-life next to it. So this will tell me later on what's going on. Now let's look down at reaction 1 and figure out what's important there. Reaction 1 is just showing us compound 1 metabolites, so that's all I'll write there. And then finally, that last paragraph. What's testable information here? We are getting a relationship. We see that compound 1 can lead to kidney stones, which is not a good thing, so I put a frowny face there. If you would like to learn more about this strategy, as well as 6 other equally powerful strategies that'll help you boost your score on the MCAT, please click the link in the description. Also, please stay subscribed for tips.